Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm glad you come back for another story. This time, we're going to talk about logging again. And I want to tell you guys about the time I fell a tree right down the middle. So if you want to hear that story and you like what you hear, hit the subscribe, go to notifications, click the bell, and give me a big thumbs up on this video. Let's go. Okay, y'all. Here's how this goes. First, thanks for hanging around through the intro. I shortened it because it seemed like it was too long. I thought it was really cool. But I guess it doesn't always matter what you think. You need to think about others too, right? Okay, so I started working with a buddy of mine. I moved in with them and started living with them and working in the woods, logging, and we did all kinds of logging. We cut cedar block, we cut pine post, pine logs, oak logs, walnut logs. Okay. When we cut the pine and cedar, we I'm sorry y'all. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my parrot is in the living room doing turkey calls. She's cutting. She wants to know where I'm at. That is so funny. So turkey season's coming. I've been practicing with my turkey calls a little bit, and she recently started mocking. She's trying to be a turkey. So the pine logs and pine post and cedar blocking, we would carry that out. Now when we logged the hardwoods, let's say, we used equipment, right? I mean, we can't pick those up. But we could carry the pine and the cedar, so that's how we did it. After a couple years, I had learned how to use a chainsaw and take care of a chainsaw and all that. I had my own. So sometimes me and my buddy, we would take the truck out to the pine track that we had, and we would just cut post, like especially in the wintertime when the guys that we worked for didn't feel like going out and messing with it in the cold, you know what I mean? Or when me and my buddy, we needed some money to go out on the weekend, go party and whatnot, meet some girls. So we would go cut a load, get a couple extra $100, for ourselves. And one time, we had this old 2-ton International flatbed, and it was old, 50-something model, I'm sure. It was old, but it was reliable. This thing was tough, and I'm not kidding, tough. So we get in the truck and we drive it out to the track, and we got it parked right on our road, our logging road, and we're cutting pine down, pine trees that are marked, and we're doing our track. So we pull up in the woods out there with the truck, and we decide we're just going to park it right on the logging road. Now, the ground is covered in snow. I think I forgot to mention that. It had snowed, so there was a lot of snow on the ground, right? But that wasn't no big deal for that big dually, especially once we got a load on it. So we parked it on the road. We get our saws and we get out. We walk up the road to the end of the track, and we start cutting towards the truck. Now, this track, the road to our track line wasn't very wide. So we was just going to thin that one strip right there, and everything will be, falling towards the truck, and we'll just carry to the truck and load the truck. So that was a good plan. So all day we'd been cutting, and we had dropped a load. We had a load. So we get to the truck, and we were going to cut a couple more trees. I don't know what I was thinking, if I was tired or what I was doing, but it's really important that you pay attention to what you're doing when you're cutting trees. Now this sucks. This is going to suck what you got. So I'm following this tree, and I did notice that there was a tree in front of it that kind of leaned over a little bit, like, into the path. So I was following it to where if it did touch that tree, it would be at the very top. So a lot of times when we were following trees, and especially pine trees, you didn't have to be real specific on how you cut the tree as far as like being, dead on, following it between trees and all that, because everything was kind of planted in a row. So when you would follow them, also it meant that they all leaned the same way and everything, right? So when you would follow them, you just have your buddy behind you pushing to just push it where you wanted it to go, right? You just kind of pushed it over there. And it wasn't that hard. We did it all day, all the time, and usually never missed. Well, I don't know what was going on this time, but my buddy was not pushing. Now, he didn't push, and I told you I seen that one tree, and it was kind of, this is how they were sitting, right? They were both leaning out, but the one in front of it was just a little bit farther, so if the one I was cutting fell, it would hit a little low on this tree and probably slide down it like this and, buck back. But if he would push, we could get it to where it might hit just the top and it would glaze off and go the other direction, because this tree would bend over and then this one would just, right? That's how I was seeing it in my head. But if he's not seeing it the same way and he's not pushing accordingly, it's not going to happen. This is why your partner is important. So I'm telling him while I'm cutting, I can see this tree is not going the direction I wanted before I get the saw out. And I'm like, push, push. And he was not pushing. And this tree fell into this tree in front of it. The tree I had fell into this tree and did exactly what I was afraid it was going to do. It bent this tree a little bit, but not enough to where it would kick it this way. It slid down, and as soon as it got to a certain distance, the butt leverage, right? The butt got lifted and it come back. It just bucked back like that. Well, this happens so fast, you guys, you can't react. I mean, you can kind of react. You have enough time to maybe prepare yourself for what's fixing to happen. So here's what happened. I see it coming. So I drop my saw instantly. I drop my saw and I start to try to run back. Well, he's behind me. So I can't get back fast enough. He's getting back too. He sees it now too. So he's trying to get back. I got maybe 2 steps, you guys. The butt of this thing, and I'm watching the butt. And the butt, I see it lift. And as soon as it starts raising, I just brace myself because I know what's going to happen. I just know it's going to happen. This thing, sure enough, it lifts up about 4 foot. Boom, comes back. Boom, hits me right in the chest. Boom. I go flying backwards. Oh, I hit the ground. Oh, right. My buddy, he runs over to me. He starts checking me. Well, luckily, nothing happened. Now we're insulated up. We've got our insulated bibs on and all that, coveralls actually, plus, you know, a lot of layers underneath. So I had a little bit of padding, but I'm telling you, man, that knocked the wind out of me. Didn't break nothing. I was okay. Just made me tougher, but it hurt. Well, that's not the end of it. So we fall that tree, and now I've got a vendetta against this tree in front of it, which is, we can cut it. But the tree that kicked my tree back, now I want to cut that tree down because I'm a little aggravated. So I'm like, well, that one's coming down now too. So without even thinking, I grabbed my saw. My buddy's behind me. He knows what's going on. I told him, let's go cut that one now. So we go over. And I'm like, just make sure you push it away from the road. Now remember, it's leaning more. So it's kind of leaning right out towards the road. So you guys know what's on the road, right? So I'm like, make sure we push this to the side of the road. We'll lay it right down beside the truck. Just right there to be. But you got to push. You got to push. So once again, he does not put any effort into pushing. He is putting all of his confidence in my cutting skills and not helping push. Now, I have no confidence in my cutting skills. I'm fairly new to this. I'm only doing what I've seen someone else do. It's not something I practiced all the time. I didn't do it all the time. As a matter of fact, we were usually just carrying logs. We hardly ever run the saw unless we went by ourselves. So, I'm just doing what I've seen his dad do. Now, he sees it because he watches his dad, so he knows what I'm doing, but I'm not cutting it right. And he doesn't realize I'm not cutting it right because we don't know what we're doing. We kind of know. We know enough to where, we shouldn't get unalived. Now, I just told you that I almost got unalived. Right? I pick the saw up and I go back at it again, right? So we cut this tree, and I'm like, push! And I see he's not pushing, so I drop the saw. I get up under the tree, and I'm trying to push. Then he starts pushing. Well, the whole time the tree's falling while we're pushing. So you can only push for so long, right? It's only going to happen for so long. So we fell it right smack down the middle of the logging truck. I mean, it split the hood of that truck dead center. Dang it. Right? So I fell a tree. It got hit by it pretty good. And then the next tree fell it right down the middle of the logging truck. Now, this is the only thing we had to drive as well. So we had to cut this tree off the truck, kick the windshield out, laid in the seat and kicked the roof back up. Got it kind of square again, flat. In the hood, it was kind of smashed up. We just, we kind of got it straightened out good enough where it would stay shut and everything. And then we just started loading the truck, and we got the truck loaded. So that whole load, plus what we left behind and loaded the next day, every bit of it went to getting that truck fixed. Unbelievable. And it was a bad time. But, one thing about it was, even once I got hit in the chest, boom. Most people would quit right there, but I picked up that saw because I didn't sweat it. And I used the anger to help me squatch it And then I went and cut another tree and fell it straight down the middle of the truck. Of course, we were upset. We fixed the truck the best we could. We got it home. We made enough money to get a windshield put back in it. Went back and got the next load and used that money to fix the hood and, had a little extra left over. Not much. But we kept on going. We didn't quit. We didn't say, whatever, I give up. Even if you go one day, but you stick it out, that's what it's all about. If you can go more, do it. Keep on going. That's the main thing we got to do is we got to stop quitting. Now, I quit sometimes, but I don't like to. Sometimes when I quit, it's not because of what's happening now. It's because I know what's fixing to happen. The main thing is to not sweat it. Don't sweat the little stuff, okay? And if it starts creeping up on you, bugging you a little bit, squatch it. You ain't got to tolerate it. Squatch it, okay? Call a friend, call a family member, call 988. Thousands of people out there love you and care about you. For real. Say a prayer. Talk to God. God bless everybody out there. Keep on keeping on. Peace.